What's up, Ranch Hands? Welcome back to the channel. 1883, episode number 10. It is the series finale, and wow.
I'm sure I'm going to cry more, but right now I'm upset that it's ending.
What an episode. I mean, the opening scene, the truth behind all of that was revealed, and wow. I was really hopeful that there was some kind of like dream sequence or her getting knocked off her horse, put her into some kind of like vision or something. But no, that was reality. That's really what happened. The crew on their trail ran into a Native American like camp, it looked like, and everyone there was like slaughtered like really badly.
Just women.
Yeah. And the men were out hunting is the assumption. And the idea that like, Shea was getting all upset. He's like, shit, we're being sloppy. I'm getting old. Our tracks are going to make it look like we did this to them. And that's exactly what they thought. And they were able to track down the crew, some of the people, and absolutely horrifying situation. They killed most of the people. Elsa,
I don't think there's anybody left.
There's a few people that weren't there that were with James and company, but most of them, yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
I think this journey is pretty much over.
Noemi wasn't.
Yeah, she was survivor of this too. But Elsa, who was in her dress, which I was wondering how she was going to get back into a dress, because the idea of what she's been through the last couple episodes didn't really fit her as a character anymore. But they were going somewhere, and her mom's like, put the dress on, you gotta look presentable.
They were going to the fort.
Yeah. So that's why she had the dress on, and she ends up getting shot through the stomach with an arrow, and James realizes that she's gonna die. And this idea of her laying in the back of the wagon was just not a good way to end her life. So him and Margaret made the decision to like kind of just lie to her and play it off that she's fine and let her live and see everything possible. And wherever she passes away is where they're gonna stay and they're gonna live, and that's where the Yellowstone begins. Which, absolutely incredible story, and the way it just all ties together. And I keep talking about this because I'm a really big fan of prequels that do a good job in telling their story, and this is one of them. It's been an incredible story.
I mean, I think I've cried. I think minus the first episode, I don't think I cried during the first episode. I've cried every single fucking episode.
Yeah, I feel like that's a pretty strong trend with the Yellowstone in general.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things to where her name, given by Sam, Lightning with the yellow hair, I'm wondering if that has the true tie-in to the Yellowstone and why. Obviously, the Yellowstone
National Park.
Right.
Like, that's
but
something.
In the reality of this world, the canon of Yellowstone world, I'm wondering if the Yellowstone Ranch has anything to do with Elsa and her name. Because, again, the whole idea of Lightning with the yellow hair and her being the first one laid to rest on that land, and how they get it, how do they stumble upon anyone, or is this just an absolute dead space that no one's there and they just stumble upon it and they're like, hey, this is where we're going to start making our life. This is where we're going to go put our daughter to rest, which I think is going to probably be one of the most insane things that this show can do. And is that where they just start like building and living their life and trying to build their future there? I'm wondering how this happens, and because I would imagine if Elsa's dying on this road, they're going to stop and Shea and everyone else is going to keep going. That's kind of my assumption on this.
That's also my assumption. Because Shea needs to get to the ocean.
That's the whole point, and that's the whole plan, and he needs to do that for his own family. So this show, it's been absolutely incredible. We gushed all about it in the last episode. And if this sticks the landing, this finale, which I fully expected to based off of the previous 9, I just don't see how this finale doesn't just stick the landing and be absolutely incredible. I think it's going to go down to one of the single best seasons of TV that we've ever seen. Just because of like how tight it is of a story. It's just really well done. The performances are all absolutely incredible. And it enhances another really great show, which is a very big challenge. And I think it's been spectacular, and I'm just ready to see how they wrap this up because, again, show's been amazing.
It has. I would prefer not to cry as hard as I did yesterday. You know, I wear makeup. I mean, just gonna come off.
The family dynamic.
I only have so many tissues.
Father, daughter. We need to get a sponsorship from Kleenex or something.
Honestly,
hit us up, dude. Hit us up. But yeah, I mean, it's just the family dynamic, and the idea that parents are going to be burying their daughter is just an unimaginable situation. And
I don't want to talk about it yet.
Yeah, it's just so insane because I mean, no parent should ever have to bury their child.
No.
It's such a brutal, sad reality that does happen.
They need to outlive us.
Yeah. So
it's just awful.
Can't wait to see how it goes. I'm obviously hesitant just with the idea of how emotional this has been, but it's been brutal. It's been awesome at the same time. So here we are, ready for the finale?
Yeah.
Let's go.
The numbing shock of war is behind me now. Pain has taken its place. Hurts to move, hurts to breathe. The back of my head throbs with every step of my horse.
Yeah. Not many left. More than I thought, though.
I look at the world through the hazy lens of fever, and somehow see it clear. What is death? What is this thing we all share? Everyone I love, and everyone who loves me. Even stars die. And we know absolutely nothing of it.
State your business with the fort.
Your boys.
State your business.
Who are you gonna protect?
I guess I'll protect who needs protecting.
You should spend some time outside these walls before you make that statement.
State your business or be on your way.
Oh, shit.
Don't touch her!
Okay.
She got shot. Get the surgeon.
Follow me.
When he calls her baby.
Shit. Is the fort where she dies?
I don't know. I don't want to watch it anymore.
I didn't think they were going to the fort to get her medical attention.
Yeah, I thought they were just going to keep going.
Maybe they want to give her something to make it
Less
maybe,
painful.
Yeah, and then they'll just keep riding once they do.
What happened?
She was shot. Gonna need to summon your staff, Major. Got 2 more coming behind. Head wound and a snake bite.
Well, just list the elements, sir. I'll decide who to summon.
Uh-oh. She's not going to
Looks
have
like she's already been treated.
Just a battle dressing.
Is there a battle that I'm not aware of? Gunfights do not a battle make.
Captain. Gunfights do not a battle make. Captain. Believe me when I say I know the difference, Major.
This wound is from an arrow. Swelling in her liver. I suggest you take her to Fort Laramie. Nothing I can do for you here.
How can you man a fort without a staff?
There is no fort. Been abandoned. Who is she to you?
She's my daughter.
The arrow hit her liver. Hard enough to recover from a bullet through the liver, let alone an arrow. Those things are filthy, and half the time they're poison. And even if her liver does heal, sepsis is in her. I'm not saying it can't be beat, but I've never seen it.
Just get her strong enough to travel. That's all I ask.
She's done traveling. Laramie as far as she goes, if you're lucky. Best you can hope for is that she wakes and you get to say goodbye.
It fucking sucks. I mean, I know he's honest,
Just tell them the truth.
but like, damn it. A little compassion would be nice.
Move.
You ain't no soldiers, but you're manning a fort.
We're with CY Ranch. The ranch owns the fort.
CY part of the Wyoming Stock Growers Association?
Part of it. Mr. Carey founded it.
Not that figure.
Y'all need some rooms for the night?
We're gonna keep moving.
Dang.
I'm fine. Everything's fine.
We head to Laramie.
All this land's owned by the boss of those deputies we killed, his fort included.
Go north, hit the Bozeman Trail.
That'll put us in Montana for the winter. You think this place is wild?
Ain't gonna take them long to find those deputies we killed. This whole country will be behind us. What's her doctor gonna do for her? 3 days. Her liver either heals or it fails. And if it heals, she's got another week, maybe.
Shit.
I gotta talk to my wife.
I can't. She's such a fighter.
We can't wait it out here.
Why not?
Doesn't matter why, we just can't. Ain't no doctor can help her. Nobody can. And we ain't gonna lay her to rest here. We keep heading north. Where she dies is where we stay. She'll be with us. And you can visit her anytime you want.
Oh, I'll be there every day until you put me in the ground right beside her.
We're only 10 minutes in.
I
babe.
know.
You gonna be all right?
It's not fair. I Life's not fair.
We're gonna head north from here. Winter in the Bozeman Valley. Push on to Oregon in the spring. Get ready to leave.
These folks need a few days. Got to get Joseph to the doctor.
There is no doctor. Just more of those thieves. And if we stay around here, they're gonna hang us.
They're staying. The trail is easy enough to follow now. We'll make it to Oregon without you.
Suit yourself.
Shit, dude.
We go with you. Show me your leg.
Oh, shit.
You can't drive. You can't walk. She can't drive. How am I supposed to take you with me?
I'll drive it.
They're gonna die.
Then they die. They're free people now. That's what they chose.
Ain't my job to tell you what to drive.
This is insane. These people.
What do you want us to do?
What do you want to do?
I hate turning my back to you. We ain't pushing cattle for you. We ain't much use.
Are we gonna get into another fight before we get to where we're going because of those deputies they killed?
Where are we going?
Montana, honey.
Wonder what that'll be like.
I believe Montana's not even a state yet at this time.
It was a hell of a thing riding with you.
It was a hell of a thing riding with you.
Well, it wasn't a day on this drive I was prettier than you. You always be the one that got away out.
Oh.
You gotta be pretty damn good looking to think the one you never had got away from you. Go back to Texas, you pretty son of a bitch.
Ma'am?
Oh my God, I can't. Shit.
I wondered what became of them. Wondered if they staked their claim in Wyoming and built sod houses, bought cattle, and tried to scratch a life from this place. And perhaps they fought the winter and braved their way to Oregon, laying stakes in the emerald fields of the Willamette Valley. But I'd seen too much of this world, knew too much about the nature of man to think either would be their future. Another future awaited them, and it lay in the abyss of unmarked graves along the Oregon Trail.
Shit. She just told us that they die.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God.
Oh my God, dude.
Your leg is dying, and the death is working its way up. Now we can take the leg, or you can die with it. Those are your choices.
You know how to take the leg?
I know how.
Oh my God.
Take it.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Margaret's been holding out on us.
She only sings for the kids.
Not for you?
She promised me she'd sing at my funeral, and then she made me promise she'd die first. Got horse traded out of my song.
Women will strike some tricky bargains, won't they?
I've never come out on the winning end of one yet.
During the war, I got a telegram from my wife that said she was taking another lover, leaving with him on Friday. It was Monday when I got the telegram. I got my sword real goddamn sharp to slice that son of a bitch and rode for 2 days straight. When I got there, she ran out of the house and tackled me in a hug. Said she read that the rebels were in Pennsylvania, and she dreamed that I was gonna die on the battlefield at Gettysburg. That dirty little liar saved my life.
Wow.
Joseph's leg got to come off. We should do it now.
What are they gonna use that's sharp enough to...
Well, also sanitary tools? No.
So we do this now?
Not yet. Not till you get so drunk you can't see straight.
And then your blood thins and you die via...
I'm German. I have this bottle and just hitting my stride.
That's horrifying.
Yeah. Oh my God.
No, I'm not ready.
You're gonna have to get ready.
You lay back and rest. Just give him a few minutes.
Oh my God.
We've seen a lot of amputations in a lot of shows This one feels like it potentially could be the worst thing we've seen.
He's gonna try to kick the life out of you. He comes to.
I don't think he's coming to.
He's coming to.
Holy shit. And he's not a little dude.
No.
He's a big dude.
He's a big man.
And he starts freaking out.
Cut around to the bone first.
I'd go right to the saw.
Oh my God. Oh God. Oh God. Ah!
Holy shit, dude.
Oh, it's so juicy. Oh God, it's like Terrifier. Oh. Oh my God.
Hold on.
How does he not even feel that part though? Oh, son of a bitch. Ow, bitch.
Hold him.
Oh, there it is.
Oh God.
Into shock.
Yeah, you're gonna be seeing. Oh God.
There it is.
Gotta bury that leg. You don't need to see a cow running through the plain and see his foot tomorrow.
Holy shit, could you imagine?
No.
Like, hey, coyote, just there's my leg.
Is that my sock?
Oh my God.
Let's just cut off a guy's leg. Like, no big deal.
That was actually pretty easy.
Honestly. Oh my God.
I'm sure glad I didn't get shot in the leg.
I wish you had, honestly. That'd be a whole hell of a lot easier to deal with, I think.
Fever's broke. Color's back, too. That's good. How's the pain?
It's there, but not like it was.
Does that mean, was it her liver? Does that mean it's healed and now she's just gonna die from the other thing a week later? Because I think that's what James said.
Sepsis.
Y'all made good time. Prairie to pine trees in a day.
We left the fort 3 days ago.
Oh,
Shit.
something my way here, I guess.
Yeah, honey, you sure did.
Honey.
Not sure what Oregon looks like, but I bet it don't look like this. Should have aimed for this place from the start.
I don't know what Oregon looks like either, honey, but that's hard to beat.
I need to go to Montana now.
All those people from Europe don't speak our language, don't know anything about this place, risking their lives over rumors and dreams.
Rumors and dreams built this whole world, honey.
I want to know my greatest fear about dying. It's being forgotten. And I can't understand why, because I won't be here to know anyone forgot me. What a silly thing to scare me.
Nobody's gonna forget you, Elsa.
Honestly,
And
that's
you ain't dying. You should be dead. You pay about as much attention to the rules of nature as you pay to mine.
You look at me like I'm dying.
I look at you for what you are. Most important thing to me on this planet. That comes with a lot of worry, because I can't replace you.
The others are wrong not to come with us. Think they'll make it to Oregon?
I don't think they'll make it out of Wyoming.
Look at the mountains.
We never spoke of dreams or death again. Never spoke of the pioneers either, because there was no need.
It's sad. Shit.
Oh my God. You sick motherfuckers.
To survive the frontier, you must learn to recognize those who won't, and be wary of their doomed decisions. They are to be avoided at all costs, because their fear is tragedy's closest cousin, and tragedy is contagious in this place.
Holy shit.
I have the same thoughts of people dying in war. It's like those people are just gonna stay there. They don't get moved. They don't get anything. They're just in the middle of a giant piece of land. It's just...
When her talking about, like, being forgotten, like, that's a huge thing. Like, I think about that.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Is it Sam?
Hold up here. Get ready.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
She's hurt.
hi.
I know. Shot. Dakota arrow.
Are they making war?
Somebody made war on them. They thought it was us.
What do your doctors say?
We have no doctors.
I'll get you a doctor. We need to put her in the creek.
It's too cold. She's got a fever.
Cold is what she needs. Is stop the bleeding. Alawuzala. Octagula.
God, look at those horses. They're so beautiful.
That was quite the battle, huh?
It was a good one.
Your father?
I can call him.
You call him.
Oh my gosh. So nice. Oh, honey.
You're her father?
I am.
What do you know of war?
More than I care to.
You'll know that the Lakota, they dip their arrows in manure, so a hit is fatal.
Oh my God.
And an arrow to the liver is for certain.
I know what's coming. Where we put her in the ground is where we stay, and I gotta find that place fast. Otherwise, I'm living out here in the sagebrush with you.
I know a place for you. You go through that pass, and you follow the river south. I used to hunt that valley as a boy.
What's the valley called?
I don't know the word in your language, but it's, when you die, you go there.
Heaven.
No, there's another word. It's not it.
Paradise.
Paradise Valley.
Paradise, yeah. Good name. But you know this, that in 7 generations, my people will rise up and take it back from you.
In 7 generations, you can have it.
Tate was the 7th.
He was. Oh, God.
Someday, my family might seek to hunt that valley. And if they do, you remember me. And you let them.
Your family can hunt the day I get there and every day after.
Good.
Like I said in the last video, it's like poetry. It all rhymes. They gave the land back after Tate, 7th generation.
You lied.
I'm sorry.
I'm dying.
Oh, no.
Make me a promise.
Anything.
Let me choose the spot. Please.
Yeah, honey. You choose the spot.
She's dead, isn't she?
They fine, they good, they right to sleep.
They haven't spoken since their father died.
Can't get them to shut up.
He talked to you.
All the time.
They won't talk to me for months.
I don't think I could survive like that.
To them, you this John Egg. They terrified it's gonna break. They talk to me because they couldn't care less if I break. That's fine. Guess I don't care too much myself.
What happened in Oregon? With us, I mean.
Figure we find a valley with some good water, no people, stake it out and make it ours.
This reminds me of a river runs through it.
I've lost a daughter, too. Tamakumi will blame herself. Think it's your fault for giving her so much rain. Maybe it is your fault. But I'll say this. I've watched this girl for the last 6 months, and she has outlived us all. I'm 75 years old, and she has outsmiled me, outloved me, outfought me. She's outlived me. She's outlived all of us.
She wants to pick the spot where she's buried. She wants to choose it. put eyes on it. These wagons won't make the trip in time. My boy can't make the trip on horseback. And I gave her my word. I can't let her life end with me breaking it. And I have absolutely no idea how to tell my wife I gotta take her daughter away from her. To die. And she can't go. She'll hear the logic in it from you. From me, all she'll hear is the cruelty in it. You think you can do that for me?
Dude.
Yeah, I can do that for you.
Is she gonna get to say goodbye at least? Probably not, huh?
I mean, maybe.
So what is my husband too scared to ask me?
Uh-oh.
She knows.
He promised your daughter she could choose where she dies, and that's where you'll build a ranch. It's a week's drive on a wagon. She ain't got a week. Horse can make it in 2 days.
Still haven't heard the question.
I really don't know what the question is, ma'am. I guess the question is, are you willing to say goodbye to her here?
They're such fucking cowards.
He's crying.
That ain't cowardice, ma'am. It's shame that the question's even being asked.
When do they leave?
She'll leave in the morning.
I'm sorry. There ain't no other way.
She's dead. She's dead. Oh my God.
I love you.
I love you both with all my heart.
See you in the valley, Mama.
I'll see you there.
Hope you prove them all wrong. Hope you laugh about this in 20 years. Laugh at all of us for doubting you.
Well, if I can't, come meet you on the beach.
I'll save you a spot. I'll be right behind you.
Keep them close?
Like they were my own.
It's very familiar. Oh my God.
This is the spot.
Where you want to go?
Against the tree. Let's just sit here and rest for a bit.
You want a blanket?
No, ain't with the blanket. What's your first memory?
That's probably 3, I reckon. My daddy had an apprentice, and he was banging horseshoes. I remember the sparks. He looked up at me and he smiled, put his hands over his eyes and said, "Peekaboo, I see you." Then he covered his eyes with his hands, and he said, "But you can't see me." I didn't understand the game. He was hiding behind his hands, and I could see, plain as day. And I thought he was a fool.
Mama was all these birds in the field behind the house, right after a rain, pecking at the ground, pulling out worm. I thought I was smart, wait for the rain to soften the earth. I just thought that was so smart.
You're right, honey. That was smart.
You birds sure are smart.
Honey, buddy.
I understand it now.
Understand what?
I know what it is. Not scared. Not scared.
This is it. Is it too far?
Ain't nothing too far for us. If you want the river, I'll stake you a river.
He made it to the ocean.
Just look at that, Helen. Isn't it beautiful?
There is a moment where your dreams and your memories merge together and form a perfect world. That is heaven, and each heaven is unique. It is the world of you.
Oh, he's waiting.
The land is filled with all you hold dear, and the sky is your imagination. My heaven is filled with good horses and open plains and wild cattle and a man who loves me.
Brace ya.
It is always sunrise in my world, and there are no storms. I'm the only lightning. I know death now. I've seen it. It had no fangs. It smiled at me, and it was beautiful.
Wow. What a show.
I'm a disaster.
That was...
I am a damn wreck.
I mean, it was incredible. The whole show, every episode, the way it built the story, even knowing where it was going, it still just rips your heart out. Yep. I mean... The thing that stuck with me in this episode was the conversation that James had with the other Native American. I didn't think we caught his name though. But I was wondering if he was Rainwater. I wonder if he was Thomas's relatives.
Like way back.
Yeah.
Or if he's related to that tribe.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he would be because
Right.
seven
But
generations, you give it back.
But specifically, if it was a Rainwater, I wonder if he was
Relative.
Yeah. But the idea that it was like 7 generations and James was like, I'll give it back to you. The idea of that is like thinking about how Yellowstone ended. And I think Tate was the 7th generation. And the fact that that's when Thomas got the land back for his people. Just, it's a perfect story. This show, 1883, was flawless.
And I'm really glad that we watched it the way that we did.
Yeah.
I feel like it gave way more, like, I'm more at peace with how Yellowstone ended now after watching this.
I do understand the whole idea of finishing 1883 before finishing Yellowstone, because I think that final moment in Yellowstone would have hit even harder. Because, I mean, we knew obviously what Elsa's fate was in terms of, like, obviously she doesn't make it that long because of the whole idea of this being in 1883 versus like the 2000s. Obviously all these folks die and laid to rest there. But I think if we watched this and then the last chunk of Yellowstone, I think it would have been even more emotional. I mean, I was shocked to hear her voice at the end. I think you would have been a ball of mess.
I'm already.
No, but like when we watched Yellowstone.
No, I know.
If you heard her
like,
voice in that moment, I think you would have been an absolute wreck. And I mean, I see how that scene.
No, you need to go watch that episode.
Of her headstone getting knocked over and them fixing it and her fear of being forgotten. It's just, there's so much there that I feel like just the generations and generations just kept everyone alive. And we talked about it in the last video, but the promise to never sell the land or get rid of the land, it makes so much sense there.
And keep it whole.
Yeah, it just makes so much sense now. You get why there was so much passion about keeping it and fighting for it. And I'm excited to watch 1920, is that what it is?
1923.
And see how that generation honors the past, builds to the future kind of thing. So doing the math like really quick, obviously there's like 40 years between these shows. So we're going to see like potential grandparents and John being 40 years old. Baby John in this being 40. So,
or depending on how old he is, I think it was 6.
Yeah, so like he'll be in his 40s if he's alive, obviously. James might be an old man. I don't know if we saw him die in that flashback where something went down and
that's right.
You saw
with
Margaret
the horse,
screaming.
With the thief. Yeah.
I don't know if he actually dies in that moment.
He comes back to the house and he's hurt real bad and she screams.
Yeah, so we don't know the final conclusion of that flashback. Obviously, if we start watching 1923 and there's a James Dillard Dutton, then he made it to live to be an old man. If not...
Or they get some kind of flashback on how he passed.
Yeah, so...
I love all of these intertwined series.
When it's done well, it's incredible. And obviously, Yellowstone is what it is. I thought up until that last season, it was one of the better shows that we've seen in terms of just a full combo of story and characters and just chaos and just...
Black Sails.
I mean, that's why I said one of.
Okay.
There's a list.
Okay.
But it was up there, and like the violence, obviously, and the emotion, and it was there. I mean, obviously the final season or whatever, the real life drama between a couple people kind of ruined a lot of that. But still, I mean, I think 10 episodes of 1883, I think I would put it above the whole show of Yellowstone in terms of overall quality. Just it's hard to tell. Like, I was getting worried. I think I had talked to somebody about this. I think around like episode 5, like someone that we know that has seen this show. And I'm like, it's hard for me to put it that high up. It's such an elaborate story, and there's so much to tell, and there's only 10 episodes. They fucking nailed it. They nailed it. They stuck the landing on every single episode.
Yeah.
And this ending, I mean, Shea making it to the beach and that being his final moment. As soon as they turned the camera to his, I saw like the pistol in his hand. I don't know if you noticed that, but he was holding a gun. And I mean, Thomas making it to where they're going to stay in Oregon. Willamette actually played football in Willamette, which is pretty amazing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's just, there were some happy endings. And obviously Joseph, he's there. He's going to start building. I'm assuming that's what all that wood was in his hand. And it looks like he found his place despite losing his wife.
Yeah, to stake the land.
So, I mean...
I would never remarry. That would be it. I'm done.
We started with a very large group. And unfortunately, most of them didn't make it, which was kind of the anticipation, the idea of how this was going to work.
Which is very sad because there were so many.
Yeah.
I mean, like, they didn't even make it, like, barely out of camp.
Yeah.
Snake bites and water.
Yeah.
The fuck?
And then crossing the river and then bandits. Like, the road was absolutely insane. And that Oregon Trail is...
And that's awful. And then it makes you think about all of the graves along the Oregon Trail.
Yeah.
And what are they covered with now?
Yeah.
Roads? Houses?
Yeah, exactly.
All these poor people that have died?
It's just... It's really sad and unfortunate. And
Just
I mean, again...
following their dreams.
I think that was the expectation when this whole thing started, and you saw how raw they all were in terms of traveling, and they had no weapons, and most of them couldn't swim, and they couldn't, like, ride horses. Obviously, the strong survive, and the ones who adapted were able to make it to the end of this. And, I mean, Elsa as a character...
Oh my gosh.
She was incredible. And it's hard to fully compare because of how much time and how many families and the family tree branching off and all that stuff. But I would totally expect Beth to be a similar style of character in this time. And I would hope Elsa would be a lot nicer if she grew up in Beth's era.
It's different though.
Yeah.
I mean, Elsa was a dreamer. Beth is... I don't know how, but like, would Beth have been a different person if her mom was still alive?
Yeah, and she didn't have the abortion and the situation with her brother. Like, there were a lot of reasons why Beth acted the way that she did, and I mean, that's not an excuse. It's just the facts of the character.
I can't sign off on the majority of the things that she did.
I see the feistiness in both of them. And the just not willing to stop if they have a certain mission or a goal or a dream. There's no stopping them. The fact that Elsa was literally dying and she was like, no, I'm going to go off with my dad. I'm going to go find the spot. I'm going to pick it with my own eyes and I'm going to lay there until I die. Like, that's incredible. Like, most people would just be like, just leave me here or whatever. Like, they wouldn't have the motivation to keep pushing and the fight, which she had. And I mean, incredible character. I mean, everyone in this show, all the performances were so good. It was, I mean, Shea, I mean, what a ride with, like, he was, from the moment we met him at his house where he had to put his family down like that and burn the house to the ground. I mean, the ups and downs of these characters, so insane. And just his emotion really stood out to me a lot, because he could have been like he was a cold dude when he needed to be. He was cold and ruthless, and he killed and protected people
until he met Elsa.
But when it like became time to like show emotion, like, he didn't hold it back either. He was a very emotional dude. And I mean, James was too. He's another one. They've been through it. And
like, watching his hand shake while she's there dying on him, and you know that he's crying.
Yeah. Absolutely incredible.
Sorry for all the snot and the wailing of my weeping.
I mean,
all of her W sounds. Anytime she would come across a word, with a W in it.
Yeah, I heard that a lot during editing. But I mean, I think I said it in the last one, and I'm gonna solidify my opinion from the last episode. This is absolutely a masterpiece. These 10 episodes were so good, top to bottom. The action, the just constant threat and the constant anxiety about these people. Are they going to live? What is going to happen? And then knowing the idea that obviously at some point James goes on a detour to find the ranch and didn't know the circumstances of how that happens. And then seeing how it plays out and them revealing basically what went down, what was going to happen in the last episode, talking about we're going to pick the spot where Elsa dies. That's going to be the place, because she's not going to be just a random cross on a road. And the fact that she had to like break off from her mom and go ride just on horseback because the wagons were going to take too long. And that's where they find their spot. I mean, so much of it. And again, just to quote George Lucas, the whole idea of this story, it's poetic, it rhymes, it's perfect. It's like a circle. It all comes back, and just adding the whole 7th generation thing in this episode, just to like put a bow on the whole thing.
I know. It was so good. I really enjoyed it.
It's incredible. It's an absolutely incredible piece of content. Amazing show. It definitely goes up there with some of the best stuff that we've ever seen. And I mean, it's probably one of the most emotional things. And again, I think that's just the perspective of us being parents. Obviously, us having 2 daughters and like me being a girl dad, that whole situation, like, that struck me straight through my core. And just the relationship. And emotional? Yeah, very. I just don't show it the same way you do.
He sweats.
Yeah.
Instead of crying, he sweats.
But just the idea that, I mean, James is the most rugged, tough, badass dude in this show
until it comes
to his daughter, and he becomes but his daughter specifically, he's a little tougher with John, I feel like, because I mean, I feel like it's a boy versus, I don't have boys, but I feel like it's a boy versus girl thing. You've got that. I mean, he specifically said that she was the most important person in his life.
His soul.
So yeah, so the idea that like you see him doing all this crazy hardcore intense shit, and then he's like the softest dude when he's with his daughter, like, it's just, that's the facts.
Okay,
that's the way it goes.
I struggle with this though, because like this show is so sweet, and like they just love on her, and she's, you know, defiant, but like she's a dreamer and all this stuff. And then I'm gonna go out there and hang out with my kids when they get home from school, and they're gonna tell me that's not Sigma. You know, different times.
I mean, also, Elsa's 18, 19 at the point of this show.
Yeah.
So I think she's 18. So
like,
we still got a long ways to get to our kids.
If that's like the hardest conversation I ever have with my child, I'm very lucky about what that's not Sigma, or what the Sigma, or whatever the hell.
Skibbity.
And I'm selling, and I'm not funny.
Our oldest still has a long way to go to get to the point of the maturity and the ability to like think and analyze situations.
Mommy
like
does
Elsa.
love me.
Yeah, exactly. Like Elsa knew. I mean,
Oh
it'd
my
be
God.
kind of interesting to see like a 12-year-old Elsa. I bet she was little feisty one who didn't listen for shit.
No.
So incredible show. I can't wait to jump into 1923. We're gonna start that next week, and if you're watching this in real time with us, but yeah, I mean this universe, it's awesome. Taylor Sheridan,
good.
despite the ending of Yellowstone, this universe is still pretty epic, and
I appreciate him not sprinkling himself throughout the entire show.
I mean he was in 2 episodes,
which
so
you can have those.
He came to the savior of some of the people,
of course.
But I mean, he definitely didn't fit this one. His accent, his voice,
No, it was
didn't,
off.
Yeah, it didn't fit.
Where are you from?
Definitely didn't fit for this one, but I mean, incredible. I mean, 1883. I legitimately think it's up there with some of the best single seasons of TV that we've seen. So
I really loved it.
excellent stuff. Everyone all around, the writers, the directors, the performers, every actor.
No notes.
None.
Perfection.
Yeah.
No notes.
Literally. I would have loved. Maybe this is a note.
I was like, speaking of no notes.
Before Elsa passed, I would have loved John to like name the place.
But he doesn't know. It's Paradise Valley.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like he comes up with his name. Like he says, like we're gonna call it the Yellowstone, or like he does something like that. Like I would have liked that moment, but I don't know if that would have made sense. But that's just something that popped into my head.
Who knows when they named it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we'll probably find out.
In 1923.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, incredible show.
Yep.
The journey continues. Any other thoughts?
No.
All right, y'all. You guys share all your thoughts. Leave your comments. We'll see you later for the next one. Have a good one. Bye.